Hello guys, what is going on? Zach here, and today I have another random map game for you. Oh yes, and this one is actually what I have seen to be the kind of return of Riut, because in green up to the north of the map we do have 753951, who is Riut, the very well-known and famous Brazilian player, arguably one of the best Brazilian players of all time, against his opponents down to the south in hot pink, Ny4JyN. And Ny4JyN, I would say. I always get names wrong, and I probably got that one wrong as well. I remember the very first time that I tried to pronounce dreams, I pronounced it Dre-Ivis. Oh yes, that is just how slow my brain works sometimes when it comes to different names. But nevertheless, I hope it's Ny4JyN. So these guys are playing a Mongol war on Scandinavia, and I am looking forward to seeing how this game turns out. Riut, of course, well, we asked him to play in the GML, but he actually was just sort of away. We didn't really get a response from him, or he just didn't want to, I can't remember, but he really wasn't playing much a while ago. But now it seems like he has made a sort of comeback to the game. I've noticed quite a few games from him popping up all over the place quite recently, and that is kind of cool. It does mean that we could get to see some more even higher level games from him, and of course this is a Mongol war, which I do absolutely love. Anyway, I'm just going to have a quick little chat with you guys while this game is starting up, because I want to let you know something kind of important, because yesterday I was talking to my potential employer who is going to give me a job over on the Greek island of Paros, and it's likely that I will be going there in April time, probably the start of April, which does mean that I will kind of be away from April until potentially September. So that is a long time, and I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, you must be mad going to Greece to work. Not even the Greeks have jobs. But actually, Paros is a very, very popular tourist destination, and the guy who I'm speaking to, my mum used to work for, funnily enough, when she was younger, and she went to Greece to work. And there are jobs over there. There are a lot of tourist jobs, working in bars and such, and I just would really like the opportunity to get away from England for a while and experience for myself what it's like to live abroad and what it's like to work abroad as well. And that is something that I really would like to do. So I am going to be away for quite some time, but never fear, because I do have a plan, and this is what I plan to do. You guys may know that YouTube does have a scheduled upload feature. So what I could do is I could upload a video and I could schedule it to release on any day that I like. So what I intended to do is work my ass off until April and have a lot of videos recorded and stored up, and what I'll do is I will schedule uploads so that you guys will still get one or two, well probably two videos per week. And I think that that could work quite well. It could mean that I'm going to be, you know, having a lot of backed up content, but it does mean that while I'm in Greece, while I'm working out there, the chances are that I won't be able to make videos, but I'll still be able to get videos out to you guys. And that's the most important thing, because the last thing I want to do is actually drop the YouTube channel. That is really not something I intend to do at all. But with that out of the way, let's just talk about what we just saw on our screens right there. Looks like Ny4JyN actually just stole one of Riut's boar. You can see Riut has one boar there, but Ny4JyN has one at his TC. He's got one over to the right and one over to the left, which would indicate that he did steal that boar with his scout cavalry. You saw him luring it all the way from over here. And that is a huge thing in a Mongol war, because as you guys know, I've said this many times before, Mongols do receive an extra hunt bonus, and it does mean that they gather meat from wild boar so much more quickly. So having 3 boar is insane, and Ny4JyN is going to gain a an absolutely huge boost because of that. Never mind, actually, I thought he stole his boar, but it seems like he didn't at all. It seems like there was just another stray boar over here, and he lured it in with his scout. Either way, he's going to have himself 3 boars right here, and Riut definitely seems like he's only going to have the 2. So I don't really know exactly what happened there. It might have just been a random boar sort of out here that he lured back. But either way, he's secured himself an extra boar. And that is a kind of big deal because in Mongol Wars, as I said, with the extra hunt speed, it does mean that the Mongol player will gain a huge boost in food, and they can get up to the food age extremely fast on the back of that. They can do very fast scouts on the back of that as well. Looks like Riut is actually going to mill his deer, and you'd be mad not to. Again, the extra hunt speed and that many deer, you may as well just mill it, because at the end of the day, these villagers are going to be worth their weight in gold by the time they have actually taken up all of these deer. The amount of food you're going to get from that is going to be insane. So, although Ny4JyN did get himself an extra boar right here, he didn't get himself any extra deer really. I mean, there is deer down here, he could mill this, but he hasn't seemed to find them. So Riut does have deer, although he only has 2 boar. It's not so much of a huge deal as Ny4JyN does have the 3 boar himself, which right now have been all taken, and they have all been eaten up. So it looks like Ny4JyN could be up to the food age. Yes, he is, and we're not seeing any drushing from either of these players just yet. One thing to note though is they both do have docks, and Riut does have a dock up in the north with 2 fishing ships out. Ny4JyN has 4 fishing ships out already, and Ny4JyN has actually scouted Riut's dock as well. Of course, this being Scandinavia, it does mean that they are separated on the water, so there's not going to be any really weird water harassment unless Riut or Ny4JyN sneaks a villager and builds some fire ships in the Castle Age perhaps. So let's see exactly what they're going to do. Riut is up to the feudal age as well, and he is going to have a lot of food actually, because Ny4JyN isn't taking his deer down here. In fact, I don't think he's scouted them. He's decided that he's not going to take them. He still has a lot of sheep left, but with the fishing ships on the water as well, they contribute so much to your food count that you don't really need so many villagers gathering sheep when you've got fishing ships out on the water. So they're both going to be doing a similar build actually, moving a lot of villagers over to wood right now. Of course, Riut still has his villagers gathering on the food right there. Ny4JyN is working on walling off a little bit. And if he completes his wall off, then that's going to be great. And this is nice as well. He's actually building a dock on the other side, so that he is going to try and take out Riut's fishing ships. This could work out really well for him. He's going to be up to the feudal age a little bit before Riut is, and when that dock goes up, which is just about now, perfect timing, he's going to add some galleys in, and he is going to pressure Riut on the water. We'll see what Riut is going to do, because Riut isn't sending a villager over to build a dock or anything like that, so perhaps he is actually just going to play it safe, well, try and play it safe, and he doesn't realise that this is over here. But if he follows this scout, then he's going to see it. So I don't know why Ny4JyN is running this way. He should really move back so that Riut does not see this over here, because of course if he scouts it, well, he's going to see the villager now. That is not good, because now he knows something is up, and he could quickly sort this out, I think, if he realizes. Let's see, he's adding in a galley of his own, and Ny4JyN has got 2 docks up right now. The first galley is already out as well, and we see a barracks going up for Riut. So Riut could go with some forward pressure, adding in an archery range right now as well. He could try and break down these walls and attack Ny4JyN at his base. He could even try and tower this wood if he wants to, but it looks like he might try and start to pressure this. Ny4JyN with stonewalling on the left. If he doesn't stonewall this in time though, Riut could bust through pretty quickly. He's already got his scout up on the hill right here to try and take out these villagers which are stonewalling over this side, but it looks like Ny4JyN will actually finish this stone wall off. Of course, now Riut is going to want to try and break through here. Ny4JyN though knows that if he does outgrush Riut on this side of the map, then he will gain a huge advantage, as he will be able to fish and Riut will not be able to fish at all. So if he does manage to take out Riut's fishing ships, then that is going to be a huge thing for him, and it could really turn things around quite dramatically. More stonewalling for Ny4JyN as well, so we could see this going into quite a long game if Ny4JyN fully stonewalls up. So we'll see how this one goes. It's certainly not looking like the best of starts for Riut, as Ny4JyN is now sending his galleys over to attack Riut's fishing ships, and these guys could go down pretty quickly. 3 galleys will kill a fishing ship reasonably quickly indeed. If it has +1, even faster of course, but right now No fletching has been researched, and it looks like 2 archery ranges and the blacksmith from Riut right there, and he could be going for a pretty fast castle time actually. He's got these villagers still gathering the deer, but with these fishing ships being lost, that's certainly going to slow his food income down just a little bit. He's starting to make some archers right now as well, with 4 villagers on gold. Ideally you want to have 5 if you're going to be creating from 2 ranges, but maybe he'll move another one on once this blacksmith is done. So we'll see exactly what he's going to do. It doesn't even look like he's that close to the castle age really. Ny4JyN is certainly much further away, but then again he's spent quite a lot on making those galleys, and now he's started to move some more villagers over to food so that he can continue to sustain his villager production. He's also taking some stone as well, which could indicate he's planning to do some tower later on, perhaps maybe tower this gold if he can. And now we see as well a lot more villagers over on gold for Riut over there. So really, it's not looking amazing for Riut right now. Ny4JyN does have a much stronger water presence, and now, of course, Riut's trying to dock on the bottom side to try and stop Ny4JyN's water over this side, but I don't think he's going to really be able to do that much. Ny4JyN, he's seen it already. He's already got a galley advantage. He's got 2 galleys out on the water. Riut is just about to get 1 out right now, and by the time he's got his next one out, Ny4JyN will already have another 2 queued up. So it's unlikely that Riut is going to be able to take the water on the bottom of the map, and it's certainly going to be hard for him to do much in the center right now because, of course, it is stone walled up. One thing that Ny4JyN has done though is walled his villagers in on the wrong side. So a couple of free villagers there for Riut. But oh, this is nice. Riut making a transport ship, and he snuck by there. I don't think Ny4JyN was expecting him to do that, as he actually snuck a transport ship over there, and he has transported his archers across. Just 5 archers. Of course, Ny4JyN now going to see that transport ship. He's going to be aware that this is coming in, but 5 archers could do quite a lot of damage. Ny4JyN, good job he started taking that stone a little earlier, because now he's having to put a tower up on his gold, as it's quite far from his TC, and that is certainly going to protect his gold gathering villagers, as Riut is sending his archers over into Ny4JyN's base. And this is going to be pretty tough now for Riut still, I think, because Ny4JyN has had so much warning that this is coming. Riut it's only 5 archers, it's not a huge amount. His transport ship is going to be taken out pretty quickly. Well, actually he's not chased it down, but he's even made a transport of his own anyway. But yeah, if he wants to, he could just stop this transport from doing anything. So kind of a on-edge strategy for Riut. I don't think he's going to really be able to kill that many villagers, though saying that, he is coming in on this wood right here. He's not going to go for the gold at all, as Ny4JyN has towered that up. Of course, getting in range of the TC there. A quick wall in with that house, and that does mean that Riut is going to lose 2 of his archers already. A nice little bit of micro there to avoid some arrow fire, but even so, losing a lot of HP on these guys and not really able to do all that much, unfortunately. So Ny4JyN going to be safe for the time being, and he does have pretty strong presence on the water. Let's see what else Riut is doing, what else he has in mind. I think at this stage the best thing for him to do is probably just go up to the castle age and start to work on his eco a bit more, and actually get some siege to bust through these walls. Down on this side he is making more galleys. He does have 3 galleys stored up inside of this dock, and I think the reason his score is higher is either A, he has more scouting, he definitely has more scouting, and B, he has more military, but Ny4JyN doesn't really need all that much military actually. Oh, another nice little push from Riut here though. He did probably catch Ny4JyN off guard. I think Ny4JyN probably thought he was going to retreat, but he's already got another lumber camp down here anyway, so it's no real big deal for him. But Riut is keeping the pressure on. Down here on the water, Riut has released his galleys, and Ny4JyN doesn't have +1, so Riut is going to have a slight advantage here on the water, and if he does take the water back, then he could force Ny4JyN away from the water for now, and also level things up by taking out his fishing ships. And I think Riut is just going to try and focus them down. He's of course going to win this battle for now, and Ny4JyN is going to want to add some more galleys in when he can. But this is kind of nice from Riut. He's decided to take the water back, and that's one thing you've got to do. If you lose your fishing ships, one thing you really do have to do is make sure you take your opponent's fishing ships out as well. And he is going to do exactly that right now, as Ny4JyN does lose 2 or 3 fishing ships already. And over on this side, Ny4JyN again starting to rebuild his fishing ships and sending a villager over as well. So we could go with a forward villager here, or even a tower on this wood, which could be absolutely catastrophic for Riut if he doesn't respond in time. It's going to move all of his wood collectors away from one location. So this is getting a little bit messy right now, and it looks like as well Riut is going to break through this wall. So Ny4JyN trying to stonewall behind it, and he is playing this way defensively. This is a very defensive game from him, and it actually looks like Riut is starting to push forwards and actually put a lot of pressure on Ny4JyN here. He's quite away from the castle age right now, and Riut is also fairly far away. They are both very similar in eco actually. Riut with slightly more gold, but certainly more army. Ny4JyN has 10 warships. Riut, on the other hand, well, he has 10 ranged units, 7 warships, and an infantry, so he has certainly got a little bit more military at this stage. And Ny4JyN just trying to wall himself up. Think about all this villager idle time. Think about all of that resource that he's had to collect from this stone here, and had to invest in towers. It's almost like wasted villager time. Riut as well, finishing up the final fishing ships from Ny4JyN. Ny4JyN sending out his galleys, but that's only 4, and Riut does have 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 galleys on the water already, so Ny4JyN's still going to have a pretty tough time fighting Riut on the water. He has, fortunately for him though, gained water on this side, so he can still take fish, and it looks like, well, where's that villager gone? Maybe it got cleared up. He did send a villager over in a transport ship, I'm pretty sure of that. Oh, he's added one up here. He could still come down and do something with that though, but Riut now clinging to the base of this watchtower, because Ny4JyN, he just have a lot of watchtowers all over his base actually, and that does mean that it's going to make things very difficult for Riut to actually do all that much damage, as it's pretty tough to stop someone do so much damage to someone who has a lot of towers up, because they can cover pretty much that whole base with towers. Riut coming in again, he still has the +1 advantage, so he is probably going to take the water from Ny4JyN again, Ny4JyN throwing away more ships to Riut's cause, and it looks like Riut as well about to go up to the castle age. He's got quite a lot of farmers now. He just added in a market as well, which just mean that he could buy and sell resources to get up to the castle age a little bit faster. It looks like he bought a little bit of food right there, clicking up right now, and Ny4JyN is still feudal, and he will be, it seems, for quite some time. Another tower going up right here, and the reason he's got so little food in comparison is because he's spent much villager time gathering from this stone. He's had a lot of idle villager time, having them build these watchtowers, having them move from lumber camp to lumber camp, and it does mean that all of this idle villager time and all of this wasted resources on these towers, well, it's not wasted because it's saving his ass from Riut's archers, but it's also not ideal because he's still spending more resources than he perhaps would like. It does mean that he is much slower to get up to the castle age, but nice there, he did try and wall Riut in. Riut losing a few archers, but again still a load of villager idle time. It's looking very messy for Ny4JyN. And now I think he's trying to just make sure he keeps this area secure, make sure he gains some kind of fishing advantage, and we could see Riut adding in some more fishing ships over this side to try and take some more fish, because he does have a pretty conclusive hold of the water over here, and of course once he gets up to the castle age he probably will research war galley as well as of course crossbow. Though at this stage of the game, I mean, crossbows aren't going to be that effective for him, as he doesn't really have any archers alive. They're all sort of dead bodies scattered around. But he is up to the castle age right now. Let's check his docks. Oh, never mind. Wow, I actually thought Ny4JyN would have held on in there a little bit. If you have a look at his economy, he was just about to click up to the castle age. His economy a little bit imbalanced, a little too much gold income to say the least, but he just decided to resign right there, and I think maybe he felt a little bit too pressured, but I would certainly say that it wasn't all over for him. I mean, he still had quite a lot of defensive structures up, so he could have just gone up to the castle age and tried to get a few town centres up and work on his economy while he's got all these defensive structures in place to kind of close the gap a little bit. But one thing to note here is that Riut was creating a siege workshop right here. I think it would have only been a matter of time before he did break through these walls, and Ny4JyN did have crossbows in his base, but again, still, these defensive structures, they can defend quite large areas, and he really did have a lot of his base secure with these. So I don't know if Ny4JyN really resigned a little early there, But either way, Riut takes it, and that is that. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.